but for some reason he doesn't make sure anymore that we have the right races here. So let's have a quick look at the bottom left here, where we have our pros player for LGIM, this time with the correct race. It is with a lag.
LGIM YongHwa.
That's right, having get out of the game.
Heaven is just not on top of things anymore. I mean, so many times in the recent days he actually did not double check the races. Now he drops out of the game. I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah,
I'm very worried.
I don't know what's going on. Down here to the bottom left, in fact, though, we have our STX Protoss. He is
STX Soul Trap.
Yeah, anyways, everything is fine. That drop, I think, was actually our backup PC. Otherwise, I think we'd probably have some pauses and things like that right now.
Yeah.
Well, this map is...
At least we did not have to, like, change the computer or anything.
No. I wouldn't name any companies that have that happen a lot.
Yeah, every time I see that, I just think, oh god, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm feeling as well.
Well, we had currently live moving into the booth, by the way, for everyone who's interested into our next best of 3 of the day, where Live is going up against Hydra, having that live smirk on his face once more. And let's have a quick look now here at Newkirk. This is one of those maps where you have a very straightforward push distance between the two bases. You can, of course, always try to hide at the top right or top left some proxy structures and also the pylons, but this is a pretty straightforward push line line of aggression that you have here.
Yeah, it's pretty straight up. This is a map where you're almost always going to see both players go 2 gates, because if you don't, you're facing heavy pressure, because even if you look at the non-air distance, the actual ground rush distance, it's still relatively short, and with those stalkers you can get so much information. It's harder to do a fast expand on this map like we saw last game as well on Whirlwind, just because the distance is so far. It's a 4-player map. You're not certain where your opponent is. It's hard to check to even see if he made a Nexus.
Yeah, in general, YongHwa here, of course, in a great position in the best of 3 with a 1-0 lead that gives him a lot of momentum and also the wiggle room if he wants to experiment a little bit more in map number 1, trying to maybe roll the dice here and go for a bit more of a risk. It's always something that you can do, so having that first win is very, very important. But at the same time, I feel that he, in general, is the player who has more build orders prepared for this matchup in particular.
Yeah, would agree with that 100%.
Not to take anything away from Trap here. I mean, Trap played a very solid game in Whirlwind. It's not just like it was like a stomp by YongHwa or anything like that. So Trap had a really good position, and he's of course trying to get into a 3rd game against his opponent here. We have him starting with a double gateway, and he's going up against the Stargate. So the question now being how much damage he can do with the early aggression. Will the Zealot be able to deny the Scout? Because if Trap starts to commit here and then a Phoenix, a couple of Void Rays come out, it's going to be very difficult for Trap to make anything. Ooh, what?
Did he not see that?
No.
Why?
Okay.
Trap loves his probe, man. He wants to send him home, but I don't even think he's going to make it. It's actually going to be very close. He may very well get home, but
I mean, that's some worker love right there, but still.
That's like one of those things where I cannot believe what I've just seen. There's no reason for him not to double check that.
Yeah, it's like, why would you not walk behind the mineral line?
It's like that's the place where tech is most likely going to be. He's not going to put his tech right on top of the ramp.
And he won't have another chance to get into the main base now that the mothership core is out. Well, maybe with it.
He tries to fly in here, but he gets the information much later. But you know what this also means, Color? Is he's going to lose his mothership core because the Phoenix is going to kill it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going to watch right now. Watch it. Double-edged sword here.
I'm
very expensive scout. Look at that. Watch it. Watch it die.
I'm watching it. No, I'm watching it on Anywhere Legend.
You know, it's got 90 energy. I don't think he saves it.
No.
He tries the Phoenix is looking over here like,
no, just no.
No, he's not safe.
He will not try to recall.
Oh my god! Oh my god, kill it! One more shot, one more shot, one more shot! Alright.
Korean casters got worried there as well. They're like, what?
Well, you know, a lot of pressure here for Trap still, and he will be able to shut these Phoenixes down here with these Stalkers. He's going to actually maybe even kill one. Gets close.
Not quite, but that was a smart move. That was really smart move. The problem is now that he doesn't have those in the mineral line anymore, so he cannot do a whole lot if that second Phoenix tries to move in. I mean, just in general, looking at this, we have the expansion now coming off from Trap, but YongHwa has a really good position here, and with the Oracle, he might actually just be able to get into the mineral line as long as those 2 Phoenixes are distracting the Stalkers a little bit.
Yeah. Really, very good point. Very much a good point. Very good point there. The Oracle coming in, but Trap is already prepared. He knows that since his Nexus isn't complete, there's no reason for him to leave units at his mineral line. The Phoenixes aren't going to pick that up. Just a threat back here with the Oracle. faster robotics for Trap here. I really like Trap's position. He lost his Mothership core early on, but otherwise I feel like he's got a decent spot when it comes to his Nexus timing and also his tech. The Oracle here only getting 1 kill, and that's a lot of gas spent for no real return, at least not yet. Could be a threat later. And we'll see the first Observer, of course, come out here for Trap very soon as he gets his Twilight Council up.
Yeah, the expansion, as already mentioned, a little bit faster for Trap here, but now with those Phoenixes, you have quite a bit of map control, and we see actually this build a lot more in PvP. And now, particularly, Trap has to be very, very careful how he saturates his bases, how he splits his Stalkers. And even with 2, you know, he could still try to lift and do a little bit of damage if he gets an additional Phoenix out there. Also, the Mothership core alone is always an issue. Ah, nice. At least gets the Phoenix out there.
Yeah, that's why he does that that overcharge, because he knows there's a high possibility that he gets that last Phoenix. He definitely targeted it as well, just to make sure. Otherwise, it would have been a bit redundant. Now, with this, he can actually pick up the Stalkers and then use his Oracle. Decides not to. In fact, he still goes in, though. Is he going to try to get these sentries? It's too much DPS.
He's just having a quick poke now. He doesn't have the Oracle with the army. He's trying to set up just a multi-prong attack. One unit going into the natural, the other one's in the main base. But he's just trying to get those information. He doesn't see exactly what's in the main base just yet. But we have Trap now heading straight into the Templar Archive. Halfway done with the tech already.
You know, he really could just pick up all the Stalkers and then use the Oracle. I think that he may do that. He turns on the Oracle, picks up 3 of the Stalkers, and starts to target probes. Really smartly done here. Needs to pick up a 3rd Stalker, though.
Yeah, or at least trying to take a few more Harvesters down. Yep, 3 killed in total. Kills a 4th. 8 workers down now. YongHwa is doing his best, but he only equalized the Harvester count here. It's not that he got a massive lead out of this.
Yeah, that was okay for him. He's also starting Immortal production back at home, which he has up first. Guardian Shield goes up here just to protect the probes, potentially. Gets another probe here, gets another one even, and a 3rd one going down. YongHwa with some great micro here.
Yeah, really well done, and he's really starting to whittle away the Harvester count of his opponent. So, doing a great job with that, and heading also into the Robotics Bay back at home. Forge timings are very similar. Keep in mind that they once again know exactly what's happening in the opponent's main base, since we always see either the real Phoenixes scouting for YongHwa, or for Trap it's the hallucinations that are getting these information. There's another one already on the way to the bottom right.
Yep, 1 High Templar out, interestingly enough, for Trap, which could use to feedback. He will join a 2nd Templar to make an Archon. You know, he clicked on it there for a second. May have tried to go into the feedback. There's one. That's always a little bit awkward. But, you know, feedbacking Phoenix is not always the best idea, because if you miss it and your High Templar gets lifted, it's going to die so fast. It is very low on hit points.
I can still remember when this mass Queen build was out there against Protoss, and it was so great. And you just try to accumulate as much energy as you possibly could, and then you just transfuse Queens and you transfuse Ultralisks and whatnot. And then at some point I saw one of those armies with like 25, 30 Queens running into a couple of High Templars, was just zip, 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 and everything was gone, and the Zerg player immediately left the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It was sad and funny at the same time.
I love those types of games. They can be quite exciting. That's my favorite thing to feedback, actually, as a Queen, because it explodes so beautifully.
It was like, oh, that's how you counter that. Okay.
Yeah. We have Stargate coming up for Trap, whereas YongHwa has the faster 3rd base. Kind of similar to what we saw last game, except this time YongHwa is up against a much faster 3rd base from Trap himself. And see if he goes Void Rays again. Keller's having some issues with his monitor. We have, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Keller's trying to solve problems right now. Charge is on the way for Trap.
I need a hammer and I need a few nails, and I need them right now.
Void Ray as well. It's really lucky that Keller is so strong, because I don't think anybody else would be able to hold the monitor up like he's doing right now.
This is just silly. That thing held earlier. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, what's going on in this game is YongHwa picks off just a few more Harvesters. He's trying to do what he can here. Might even get that one. No.
Do you remember when we cast the GSTL finals at IPL back then, and the monitor, and I had to hold the monitor for like 2 hours in my hand?
I would have asked to switch seats with you if that happened on my side.
Oh, I fixed it.
You fixed it. All right, at least for now. Don't
look at that. Don't check the table.
I won't.
Okay. Yeah, but as you already said, like YongHwa with a really good micro so far with those Phoenixes during the duration of the game. I mean, if you just look at the harvesters that he killed, that's 14 in total. And that just pressures Trap a lot. So Trap is the one who's always just stuck in his base. And he's now getting his own third up. Both of them are on 3 bases. If you look at the overall supply, you can really see that both of them are on exactly the same amount here. Just trying to go down a few different tech paths. But I really like how active YongHwa is with those Phoenixes. And it's great for him. It's not only that he has the damage dealt against the economy of his opponent, but he gets scouting information all the time without having to rely on sentry energy.
Yeah. The position here is really, really similar to what we saw last game. Void Ray's coming out for Trap. He has a much faster charge this time, though. No charge for YongHwa, who's going into Blink and +2 a little bit faster, adding the gateways. I mean, it's almost a mirror image of what we saw last game.
A little bit still right now.
Yeah. I am really...
Do you know Starcraft jokes?
StarCraft jokes?
Yeah.
Like, is that like a...
No, just like Starcraft jokes. 2 zealots walk into a bar, how much for a beer? No charge.
No. I like that, though. I never heard that one before.
You know why the Stalker always has dry eyes, right?
Why is that?
No blink.
Oh, wow.
They're really bad, but I love them.
I'm like, is Zergling's fat because he doesn't have metabolic boost?
Nah.
Slow metabolism? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, right now what we have is both of them just taking it a little bit easy and slow. I mean, you can really understand. This is like one of the most important games that you have. Because both of them want to go to the Premier League. YongHwa wants to get the quick 2-0. Trap wants to force a 3rd game out of his opponent. But they are just still very reluctant to engage in a position where they don't have a significant advantage. And YongHwa is with his macro and also the micro that he uses with those Phoenixes earlier, just trying to edge out that advantage that he wants to have when he moves out. So with the 20 supply lead, and I say it, and immediately we have the next round of Warpins for Trap equalizing the supply count again. But yeah, with that position, YongHwa is moving out now and trying to just put the pressure on. Keep in mind that he has those double Colossi, and that's something that Trap just doesn't have.
And there's only 2 Void Rays, and he does not want them to be fighting Archons. He wants them to be targeting down those Colossi if he can. Here we go, Guardian shows up. Faster charge here for Trap. I like his position. He's got the Time Warp down as well. The Immortals doing their damage.
Immortals doing their damage, but those 2 Colossi still alive as well. The Archons, on the other hand, for Trap doing a significant amount of damage. And we have more units just jumping in for YongHwa, trying to snipe what they can. And most of the Archons are suddenly gone. It is Trap that drops in supply a lot faster.
Yeah.
And YongHwa with his unit control is just turning things around again.
Much better unit control here, and those Colossi were basically never touched during the entire fight. He blinks forward here. Trap is looking basically dead, losing his last Immortal here. The Colossi at the back with their thermal lances just ripping through everything they encounter. And YongHwa just having the better composition. His Colossi were never targeted. The Void Rays didn't do a whole lot. And with this round of Warpins, YongHwa is going to take this game and he's going to advance to the Premier League.
Yeah. The Colossi of YongHwa pulling an MC Hammer here. Don't touch this.
Yeah.
And we have the GG as the LJM player edges out the 2-0. And the Trap goes to the up and downs now.
Loving YongHwa's hair, loving his confidence here in the booth. No, not a single... you don't look at him, there's not a single moment where he's stressed. He puts his eye drops and he wins the game, takes the 2-0. Great control with his Phoenixes the whole game, constantly harassing, making the better composition at the end of the day.
His unit control also really great, like in the last battle that we had there. So YongHwa definitely making that happen and showing why he's so good in Protoss versus Protoss. He defeated 3 Protoss players during his Challenger League history right now during this season. In the first round we had him going up against Stats, then in the second round going up against...
I was only thinking of Stats.
But I hate
you got
you.
me there.
Super.
Super, that's
against
right, yeah.
Super, and then now against Trap. So he goes to the Premier League, and we have our Zerg versus Zerg coming up next, where Hiva has to deal with life. Guys, stay tuned, and in 5 minutes we'll be back with the next game here at the WCS Challenger League.